Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon.
American Single Malt.
American Single Malt. Well, at least it's got to be from a company we know, right?
It is, actually, and it's from a company we know and a channel that we know. Bam, this is a sample from Baker Drinks. Thank you, Troy and Laura.
Thank you
and
so
this
much.
is Clermont Steep American Single Malt from Jim Beam. So, it's a sample, so no fancy videos of the bottle to be had here. We'll just get into the sample.
You may drop in a picture of the bottle in post or something. So
Oh, I
people
sure
know
will. Yes, absolutely.
if they're hunting for this. I don't think, well, I'm quite certain I've never seen this on the shelf. Although I don't look at single malts. Some stores put them in the bourbon aisle, some put them
They're fairly
in
common.
American whiskey.
Spirits has this. They had it when we were up doing
okay.
our video up there. But yeah, I've never had this before. I'm interested in it, but
94?
94 proof, yep.
Single malt.
So I don't know how long this has been on the market for. I know I just started hearing about it in the last year or so,
Sure.
but it could be just one of those ones that flew under the radar. But I don't know, we like single malts. We're definitely starting to kind of get a little more experienced with them.
Sure.
Some thanks to people sending samples and things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I was kind of interested in this, but also spending 40 to 50, whatever the price range is on a bottle is sometimes hard.
I still feel like I don't fully understand single malts and maybe the range. Because with scotches, there are totally some huge differences between different types of scotch.
Right.
And we've had a couple of American single malts, like mostly Stranahan's.
You mean particularly American, because you know what a single malt is
Yeah.
and what that means. But yeah, with American single malts.
It could vary quite a bit between distilleries or parts of the country.
Correct,
And
yeah.
finishing is definitely going to drive a different flavor profile.
Well, and the thing is too, is I believe in the American single malt market, there's not really any rules or laws. It's not an official legal category to the best of my knowledge.
So maybe they're doing new charred oak barrels and maybe they're not. You know?
Some of them do, like Stranahan's
Exactly.
does a new charred oak barrel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're Scotch from Scotland, they don't.
Which this one on the nose here, I would almost go out and assume that this is possibly a new charred oak barrel as well. You do get some
I would
nice
think
oak
so,
spice.
yeah.
I'm getting, this is interesting because I'm getting some wheat vibes off of this. I'm getting that pink bubble tape.
Huh. I was thinking more along the lines of kind of rye vibes a little bit, but I don't know.
Really?
I'm
See, I'm
interested.
getting more, this may be one of those ones where just complete opposites.
Well, who knows?
But
So,
I'm getting some nice sweetness and a little bit of that little barrel char, yeah. Well, let's get into it here and see what happens. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Great spice. Wood spice.
Yeah. Kind of wrapped in a nice sweetness too. I'm surprised at how sweet this is.
You know what? It's not too sweet. It's a weird kind of sweetness though, because it's not like honey or other kind of like super just like curl your toes kind of sweetness. Mm-hmm. But it is really sweet for being a spicy whiskey, and there is a hint of like the apple and cinnamon kind of notes that we get on other like single malts.
Yeah.
Malted barley type stuff.
I get the spice that you're saying. There is a nice, kind of more of a spice involved here than I would expect from a single malt product of any kind. I would assume this is probably a barrel aging thing with the spice.
I think so.
Because I noticed that on Stranahan's too, it has a nice little extra kind of sweet, spicy, kind of leaning in towards bourbon-y vibes, even though it has nothing mash bill-wise at all to do with bourbon. And so that being the common denominator there, I would imagine this has this too, because this has a level of sweetness that I would compare to like an American whiskey.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm getting this experience more than a flavor, although it is a flavor. It's that sweetness and spice that are nice and they work well together. But the spice sticks around and it's like the most prominent note. And it's not too spicy, it's not crazy spicy, but it really, 94 proof is a surprise. Like if this were 110, like you could almost convince me that. So it's a little bit more wood spice as opposed to ethanol, but.
It has maybe a spicy level that drinks a little higher than the proof, but I think ethanol-wise, it's right at 94.
Yeah.
But I would say this, at 110 proof, I would drop this review right now and I would head to the store and pick up a bottle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this has a fantastic flavor to it.
It's really interesting, and it is bourbon-y. I think it's in the wheelhouse. If you like bourbon, it's something to really think about.
Yeah, if you like bourbon and you want to lean into an American single malt, this would be absolutely what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Still getting that pink bubble tape a little bit. That sweetness of like a bubblegum sweetness. There's a weird... yeah, I think at a little bit of a higher proof, this would be an absolute monster of a whiskey. I really do. It's got some nice fall vibes to it. So I think I just wish there was a tad bit more kick to it out of the proof.
Interesting. Because I think there is plenty of kick. So much so, and I know I said this in another review recently, and I'm mostly opposed to this, but I feel like this one, it's hot. It's really hot here right now, summer-wise. This could take an ice cube. And yes, the ice cube's gonna melt and it's gonna water it down a tad, but it's got so much interesting character that it could handle a little bit of that.
Oh, sure. And if you're not a person who's into the higher proof stuff, this is gonna be perfect the way it is.
Sure.
And it could, I agree with you, it could stand up to a little bit of ice. That spice just keeps getting better and better.
Exactly.
I'm floored by how much I like this because, like I said at the beginning, we're not all that experienced in single malts, and it's not really our favorite profile. You know, we're bourbon guys.
Yeah, we're bourbon guys, and this is so close to being a bourbon, but it's not there, and it is unique, but I don't know. Like, if I saw this, and now that I know what to look for, and if it's a reasonably priced type thing, I would absolutely pick one up. I like it a lot.
Yep, I do too, and I think I would probably pick up a bottle as well. I'm just picturing for that cool, crisp fall night, just maybe 100 proof.
118 proof, and
yeah, that'd be a monster.
we can make this happen.
So, all right, well, if you can't tell, we're fans of this for sure.
It's actually really good.
So, yeah, I would recommend this. Again, especially if you just want to get into that American single malt profile and you've never had it before, but you're a bourbon lover, or even a rye lover for that matter. I think this is a great first step into that, for sure.
Totally agree.
All right, well, thank you very much, Laura and Troy. Please go check out Baker Drinks. And this has been Clermont Steep on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Until next time. See you next time.